The views and opinions expressed in this interview are those of the interviewees and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of HeavieTalk Media and TheBlack.Blog. HeavieTalk Media and TheBlack.Blog do not endorse any products, services, or businesses advertised and is not liable for any products or services purchased.
Welcome to the National Black Business Month interview series presented by TheBlack.Blog. I'm the founder of TheBlack.Blog, Tenise, and I'm very interested in talking to you about your business, Mother's Magical Milk. So I'm going to hand it right over and just give me some background on who you are.
Yes, well, thank you for having me on the show. I'm excited to be here. So my name is Tenise Hordge, and I'm a lactation consultant. However, I'm an engineer by trade. So I spent 18 years in corporate America, mainly engineering, program management, Lean Six Sigma, and like really enjoyed my career, traveled the globe, had all the things, the salary, the office, all these types of things. And when I became a mother, it really changed my perspective on things that were important to me, life in general, as parenthood sometimes does. Fast forward to the pandemic, and honestly, I had everything fatigue. Like everybody was getting on my nerves. The career was getting on my nerves. These four walls were getting on my nerves, and I've watched the movie Contagion several times, and I just felt like in the height of COVID, like this was it. Like 30% of the world population was going to go, and I just remember thinking upstairs in my makeshift office, I have so much more to give to be wasting my time on these calls in my corporate career, or doing something that I'm not happy, that doesn't really bring me joy. And up until that point, public health wasn't really on my radar. And I knew I wanted to do something that really positively affected public health and positively affected Black women. And so I was fascinated by human milk and breastfeeding. I had two really great breastfeeding experiences, though very different. I had phenomenal support in the hospital, which I later came to realize was I was the exception and not the rule. And so I knew I wanted to help increase Black women's initiation and duration rates as related to breastfeeding, because it's so much more than milk. So the engineer in me is like, the biology behind it is really amazing. The longer that a woman breastfeeds, the longer protection she has in life against hypertension, diabetes, and certain cancers. And Black women leave this country in hypertension-related deaths and diseases, and Black men leave this country in diabetes hospital admissions. And so it was in 2020 that Mother's Magical Milk was born into existence. I put in my notice in May of 2021. I had to get my affairs in order before I could just quit the corporate gig. And Mother's Magical Milk has been rocking ever since.
That was definitely one of my questions, but you got right into it, which was I knew that you were an engineer and then you made the switch over to this business. So I was going to ask you what caused you to make the shift. But instead, I'll ask you, how was the transition from being an engineer into pursuing this path of Mother's Magical Milk?
I will say it was relatively flawless for me. However, I'm a planner. Like I launched my LLC in November of 2020. I didn't leave corporate America until May of 2021. So there were some financial things that we had to pay off. I had to figure out which program I wanted to attend to get my lactation training and clinical hours. Um, I wanted new floors in my house, so I was waiting for my bonus. just keeping it real. So there were things that I had to put in place, like working out childcare and all these things. But I will tell you, going to work for 6 months knowing you're about to quit gives you this extra swag. But I often get, that's such a big shift. Why didn't you just do an entrepreneurial thing within engineering? I'm really passionate about breastfeeding. Like, those things on, people ask me, what can you talk about without any preparation for 30 minutes at a time? Boom, I am there.
This was a preview of the interview. Watch the full interview for free on HeavieTalk Media's Patreon. See you there.